Greetings, duelists of the internet. So, I'll bring you a deck profile here today with my friend Ricky, Mr. Bluebird Gaming himself. Attended UK Nationals in England. There's a player count of over 1,100 players, came 69th place after Swiss. He's going to tell you a bit about the deck, tell you his matchups, his thoughts around the deck.
So after 11 rounds of Swiss, I ended up going X3. My matchups literally was 5 Malice, 4 Mitsu Ryziel, 1 Fire King and 1 Blue Eyes. Honestly, the hardest matchups were Malice, as all 3 of my losses were to that deck. I'll be honest, I don't think I was prepared enough for that deck. Like two Malice matchups I managed to do well with. One of the guys I played just bricked and didn't have enough extenders. The other one was just like it was a good match, that one. And 2 of my losses, I misplayed so bad. One of them was definitely could have been a win, and the other one could have pushed out to a game 3, but then it was up in the air. But that was my record, and I played Bystial Centur-Ion, and we'll get into the deck profile then. So I played 3 Primera, 3 Trudea. These are your normal summons. This deck kind of needs the normal summon. This searches you any Centurion card other than herself, and she basically does the same but avoiding Ash by placing herself and then another from deck. And then we have 4 of the field spells because we play Terraforming. This one sends 1 card from hand to grave to place a Centurion from deck into the spell and trap zone. So it's another 1 card start, 1.5 card starters. And then we have the Emblema Oath. More often than not, I try to set the field spell with this, because if you place a monster from deck into the spell and trap zone, it locks you into Centurions only from the extra deck whilst that card is face up on the field. Sometimes it can't be helped. Sometimes you can still get away with just placing one from the extract from the deck. Sorry. A unique little play that I did was I had this set with with one of the Centurion Synchros from the extra deck on the field. My opponent tried to pop it, and I just activated Emblema Oath to place Primera, because while she's in the back row, my level 5 or higher Centurions can't be destroyed by card effects, which caught a few Mitsu Ryziel players off guard. And then we play the one-ofs in Archery, Gargoyle, Wake Up, and Phalanx. Archery's not good to draw. The only time that I did draw her, it was fine because I was able to pair her up with a Bystial and still be able to make Auxilla, which then gets me full Centurion combo. Gargoyle's a necessary extender. He's your best level 8. Gets you recursion when he's used for synchro material. Wake Up is, you don't want to draw it, but it can come up where it's useful in your hand if you have enough extenders. And being able to just push through certain interruptions where you're not able to get another level 4 or level 8 Centurion non-tuner. And then Phalanx, mainly used for combo piece. In the grave, you send it off Wake Up in the combo, and then you can make Crimson Dragon and then Blazar up during the end phase. And it's not too bad to draw. I don't know if I've already mentioned, because you can always send it with the field spell, and then it just gives you its grave effect. If say they nib you at any point, you can just go Phalanx, banish, target the Synchro in grave, bring it back, and yeah, that's that. Moving on to the next engine of the deck, we've got, well, I say engine and hand traps. We've got one Mag, one Druis, one Baldrake, and one Saronir. Because I was expecting a lot of Mitsu-Raziel, and as I mentioned at the beginning, I played against 4 different Mitsu-Raziel, and obviously the Blue Eyes matchup, the Bystials came in handy, so I wanted to play quite a few names. Mag can get you Durasworm or Lubellion. Lubellion can get you Durasworm, like Durasworm's just so good, it's limited for a reason. I played 2 Lubellion. This one is, I think, is a bit iffy. A lot of people just play it at 1. I don't know, with the fact that I was expecting, and I did play a lot of Mitsu-Raziel, I thought that being able to access any of the Bystials was quite important. And it came up once where I opened 2 of these. I Lubellioned, searched the Mag, Mag banish the Lubellion, search with Mag, and then I just tribute the Mag, summon the one from hand, and then I'm able to get regained. Now on paper, the Bystials don't seem that good into the Malice matchup, but when paired with, I'll tell you now, I played Nib into the Malice matchup. When they go full combo, they pretty much burn through all their summon from banish effects for their combo. So when they go to make Allied Code Talker, I just drop the Nib, and then they go, if they have nothing else, I go in end phase. I had Saronir and Mag, so I then just Mag banish the White Binder, Saronir banish the Red Ransom, and then end phase Mag searches me Druisworm, banish another important name, and they can't get it back. And then the next turn, I think it was that game where I opened Atri, so I summoned Atri, made Dispatter, and I already had Regain in hand, so I literally just passed on a Seals with Dispatter Engrave and Regained, and Regain plus Dispatter against Malice matchup it's very good, it really is. I might cut down to 1, but I didn't see a problem with that too. And then let's get onto the part of the deck which actually makes the deck somewhat viable. 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Bell, 3 Droll, 3 Nib, 3 Imperm. I genuinely thought that Bell was very good this weekend, especially paired up with Nib, because you, even against the Mitsu-Raziel board, they mostly burn through a lot of their tribute and then effect Engrave to search and summon during their combo, apart from possibly the Amino, what's the original one called again? Not Habakiri.
Futsu.
Not Futsu. The one that ball wipes. Yeah.
Amino. It's Amino that, yeah.
They're both Amino. Oh well. So this paired with Bell, you just go Nib, wipe the board. They go Amino, summon back. You just Bell, and then they're pretty much just set with the prayers on their board, and then they pass. Most of the time, I've still got like an Ash or possibly another Bell to stop the prayers. But even then, like being able to discard, it's not too much of an issue, especially like if you open too many normal summons like Primera and Trudea, you can only normal summon one, obs. But yeah, it's not too bad. Droll was so good all weekend. Imperm, iffy. Like against the Mitsu matchup, I would say that Imperm was not as good. I tended to side it out. And even if I did keep it in going second, I used it more as a board breaker. But I was so happy with the entire hand trap lineup. For this format, I don't think I'd want to change any of it. And that is what, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 19 with the Bystials, and then Talents as my 20 non-engine, basically. Talents came up twice. It was good when I did see it, but I mean, Talents is Talents. What else can you say
Generic game-winning card.
Generic game-winning card, yeah.
It's almost like when you draw this deck and then they look at your hand, they see that evenly matched, it's all gone.
Oh no, that didn't happen earlier. Onto the extra deck. Play 1 Auxilla, 2 Legatia, 1 Primus. I know a lot of lists play 2 Primus. The second one never came up for me, honestly. I don't think I missed it all that much. The one thing that I might change is changing it to 1 Legatia and 2 Auxilla, as I did find that against a Malice matchup where they just kept banishing all my stuff, and Auxilla just recurs your banish and grave, whereas Legatia recurs from the grave or your hand. And I don't think the placing from hand is ever good, especially when Auxilla just covers all the bases. That's the Centur-Ion part. I know Centur-Ion deck and there's only 4 extra deck cards.
That's all you need.
But this is obviously the main reason why Centur-Ion is good. We've got 1 Crimson, double Blazar. Second Blazar never came up for me, but I definitely would not take out a second one, because there can be instances where you just have double Blazar on field, and it's just, there's not really too much your opponent can do through that. Like, I had even just one. I had Blazar on field. This was against a Mitsu Raziel player, and he tried to push through my board. I just had endless amounts of hand traps to stop him from doing anything. He took me down to about 600 life points, went to end phase, resolve Blazar, bringing it back, and he tried to do some end phase stuff, and I just went Blazar negate. It comes back. Anything else in end phase? And he was like, wait, you can keep doing that in end phase? I was like, yes. Then managed to push through his board and go to a game 2, like down to 600 life points, and being able to push through. Yeah, Blazar, so good.
Probably one of the most awkward boss monsters to deal with in this format, because it can just dodge absolutely everything, but who's going to shuffle something back from the banish? I don't think there's many cards that actually do that.
Yeah. Then I played I'll go through my other Crimson Dragon target. My other Crimson Dragon target was Supernova Dragon. I very nearly didn't play this, just because I thought Blazar was better. But I played against the one Fire King player I played against, and even some of the Mitsu Raziel players, where I summoned this, and they kept trying to pop it, but it can't be destroyed by card effects. And for the Mitsu Raziel matchup, it's just so hard to out, because obviously they like to destroy, and this says no. Also, the banishing the entire field effect is crazy. One more level 12 synchro, Snake Eyes Vengeance Dragon. This won me quite a few games against both Malice and Mitsu-Raziel. Especially like if you expect that they have Dominus Impulse, you would chain the field spell as chain 1 and either Primera or Archery as chain 2 on their summons to search or draw, so that way that they can't impulse the field spell. And then instead of making Crimson Dragon, you make this, because then the Crimson Dragon's vulnerable. So you just make this, and then you've got the being able to place it in the spell and trap zone. And it's just great removal against Malice, because it keeps the names out of the grave. So yeah, this won me a few games. I would not cut this, it's very good. The Synchro 10s, we've got Dispatter, very good. Came up a few times, and yeah, it was just good. And then Chaos Angel. I only made it once. I still wouldn't cut it though, because Light and Darkness Chaos Angel is very difficult for decks to out. So just sitting on this with Light and Dark, it's, yeah, not much to say about Chaos Angel when he's Light and Dark. Spicy bit of tech, Snake Eyes Doom Dragon. This won me 2 games, one against Mitsu-Raziel and one against Fire King. Same thing as Vengeance Dragon, target a card in the field, put it in the spell and trap zone. Non-destruction removal, keep stuff out of graveyard. It catches people off guard, especially when you just go contact fuse my 2 monsters in the back row, make this. And then obviously if you have a level 4 tuner, this is a level 8, so you can still do your Centur-Ion plays.
Pretty sick tag.
I played Seals, obviously play a load of Bystials. This was very good. Great for bouncing like a normal summon of Malice or a Xyz for Mitsu-Raziel. Yeah, Seal's good.
Dragon's best friend.
Yeah. I played SP, did not summon her once. I could have done it in my last round of Swiss against Malice. I talents took one of their monsters, and I could have made SP with it, but then I felt like I'd rather attempt to go for game, and then obviously Malice liked their stuff being banished anyway, so there was 0 point making it. I would probably cut this for a second Primus. I just don't feel like in this deck, if you're making SP, then you're probably losing anyway. And then final card, Typhon. I don't know, just made me be able to survive a bit longer in one of my games, which I was just losing anyway. It helped in one of my other games.
I think it's one of those low percentage cards what can help us. So very specific situations.
Yeah. It's not in this deck. It's not too bad because you can just make any normal summon, make this. Say like against a Mitsu-Raziel player, the monsters are over 3k. You make this, summon this, and then you can go field spell, and then just set up synchro summoning for following turn, whilst also still keeping their big bodies effects offline. And then if I haven't already gone through the Primus line, then my level 8, so the Primus is under 3k, so that's still able to be an interruption and follow up for the next turn. I wouldn't cut this. It was very good.
It's too good a contingency plan as well.
Oh, exactly. Side deck, we played 3 Fua. I feel like it's just kind of necessary, generic good card. It can keep some combo decks in check, but more often than not, it at the ash. Lol. Malice Hate. I only saw it a handful of times when I played against Malice. It was good when I did resolve it. but I'll be honest, majority of the time I didn't see it. Played 2 Thrust, 1 Storm, 1 Duster. I like 2 Thrust. Most of the time it was on my turn 1. So obviously not when those were there. But I'll show you these in a sec. But Storm and Duster, very good. Helped me against the Fire King matchup. It helped me against the Malice matchup, especially when I had one game against a Malice player where I opened Nib, Imperm, Storm, Harpies, and a 1-code starter, and I drew into Jerusalem. So I just went Imperm on the allied code because it was already pointing to a Link monster, so it would have been able to negate the Nib anyway. And then he just said, okay, set 1 pass. Whilst he already had 2 other sets. I then drop Nib. Next turn, I go Duster on the back row. He does Malice combos, get some names on the board, and then Storm, wipe out the rest. And then I have Primera normal summon, Druis as extender, and it was just game from there. My other 2 Thrust targets, D-Barrier, came up twice against Mitsu Raizio players. Very good, just shutting off the ritual plays mainly because I feel like my deck struggles more into the Mitsu part, whereas if I have set up with Primera in back row, Auxilla in the monster zone, it gives it destruction protection, so I'm able to deal with the Raziel part. It's just the Mitsu part which this very much came up. And then the other one was deck dev for Malice. It came up twice. Once where I just set it off Thrust, and they just went, yeah, next game. And then the other time, yeah, just the exact same thing.
Kind of forgot that card existed, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and then this card won me so many games. Deck lockdown. Neither player can add cards from deck to hand or special summon from deck. In a Mitsu Raizio format, this is OP because every single card that they play either searches or summons from deck. And paired up with Auxilla, which protects the your face-up spells and traps from destruction, and then Primera in the back row, which protects Auxilla from destruction. I played against one of the Mitsu Raizio players. Going second, he had Nib, which I played under, and then he had Double Storm, Duster, and then 1 engine piece. He could not do anything through that. So that is, yeah, this is the MVP, easily. Yeah, that's the deck profile.
Something a little bit different this format, guys. Something a little bit unique, maybe with some crazy tech in the sides and the extra decks. So anything you want to shout out before we end this, Ricky?
Yeah, I mean, before I do shoutouts quickly, I'll just say I chose this deck because Droll, Chummies, and Nib, they're everywhere in this format, and I just thought that Centur-Ion, it plays around that best in my opinion, at least like the decks that I had access to anyway, and I've loved this deck since its release. This was only my second Nationals, dead chuffed with my result, being able to get 69th out of over 1,100 people. Absolutely insane.
I like it as a deck choice because it's very adaptive to what's like really meta and common in the format. You can play around the Charmies. If you get to go off, you go off. It got very difficult to deal with boss monster. Can attest to that because I struggle to beat this deck every week. It's so hard.
Yeah. Shout out to Big Jungus Sean on camera. Thank you very much. Thank you to Ian at Ravenhole Games, where it's our locals, so being able to test here with our local players every week, absolutely brilliant. And big shout out to every opponent who I played. Every single person was absolutely lovely. And yeah, it just made the experience so much better. Big shout out to Haley, who beat me in round 11 of Swiss and made it to top cut. You absolutely deserve it. But yeah, this was my deck profile. Yeah, thank you.
Just watching, guys. 1 word, 4 letters. Yeet.